Welcome, and thank you for joining me on the mat today. Today's class is going to be all about strengthening and stretching our hips. You won't need any props for today's class. So once your mat is rolled out, let's get started. Find a comfortable seated position. Sit up tall through the spine. Drop the shoulders away from the ear. And start to take some deep inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. As you inhale, allow your belly to expand. And as you exhale, gently draw that belly button towards the spine. As you inhale, perhaps your rib cage wants to expand as well. Let it. Expand that whole upper body with air. As you exhale, relax everything. Just take one more of these deep breaths. And then we'll start some stretches in the back of our neck, dropping chin to chest and holding there. On a gentle inhale, lift the gaze back to center. See if you can grow taller. And then exhale, send the gaze to the left. Inhale, center. And exhale, gaze to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left ear to left shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, right ear to right shoulder. Inhale, center. And then once more, chin to chest. Good. Inhale, lift, grow tall. Take a couple big shoulder rolls. Opposite direction. We are working the hips, but we want to get that upper body relaxed as well. Take a couple little twists. Let's send this left hand behind us, right hand to knee or thigh. Inhale, grow nice and tall. And as you exhale, start the twist from your belly area. Then your rib cage, then shoulders, and neck turning last. We're trying to get that whole spine involved with this twist. Inhale, come back to center. Take that right hand behind, left hand to knee or thigh. Inhale, grow tall. And again, exhale, twist belly, rib cage, shoulders and neck. And inhale, come back to center, grow tall. And we're just gonna flip over onto our backs for a few little movements. So you can plant your feet on the earth to start you off. Wiggle those hips a little if they need it. So you're gonna have two options here. First option is to keep your shoulders and your head on the earth. Second option will be to lift the shoulders and the head. It'll just bring more engagement into the core. So depending on your core strength, you may find this, where you want to be today, but you're welcome to keep it on the mat as well, as it does work the core, but that is not our focus for this exercise here. So we're gonna lift the feet off the mat, knees above the hips, shins parallel to the earth. Take our hands to our thighs. And then we're going to start to press our thighs away. The thighs are going to resist. And we're just going to press for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the feet to the mat. We're going to take a little bridge pose in between, just moving with our breath. So inhale, lift the hips, roll through the spine. Chest lifts last. And then exhale to roll back down. So we're going to take 2 more full sets of these. So again, lift the feet. Press the thighs away. Perhaps shoulders want to come up this time. Press them away for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Plant the feet. Bridge pose. Roll up. Exhale to roll back down. Last one. Feet up. Press the thighs away. Hold for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Roll up. And roll back down. You can bring your feet back together. Cross position. Come back to that seated position. Now in this cross-legged position, just take a brief note of which leg is in the front, because we are going to change it to the other side in just a moment. So we're going to sit up tall through the spine. And then we're going to exhale, walk the hands forward, come into this gentle forward fold. Let the head relax towards the earth. And then just gently sway side to side for a moment. Almost like we're bringing a little bit more weight into one side of the hip and the glutes, and then into the other. And then find the middle. And inhale, walk the hands back up, grow tall. So we notice which leg we got in front. Switch it to the other side now. Chances are you naturally put your dominant leg in the front for the first one. And so the second one is going to be our non-dominant side. So it may feel just a little off. That's perfectly all right. Just sit with that offness. Grow tall. And then once more, we're going to fold forward. And again, rock side to side for a moment. Shifting that weight. And find the middle and relax towards the earth. And then perhaps notice if this side feels different than the other. If you're unsure, you can always pause the video, check the other side again, and then sink back into this. Chances are, because you have one dominant side, this side might feel a little bit tighter in one of your hips than the other side. I'll just sit with this one, just a couple extra breaths. Inhale, back up to center. Grow tall. So one really nice thing I personally like to do is when I am coming into my cross-legged position in yoga is I actually put my non-dominant side in the front just to help balance out life. If I'm sitting naturally at home, I'll just put my right leg in the front. So in the yoga class, I'll try and balance that out with the opposite leg. All right, plant your feet, give them a little windshield wiper side to side. We get some movement into that hips so they're not super stiff. And we roll over. All right, and we are going to flip over into our tabletop position. So in your tabletop, as always, check in that your wrists are below your shoulders, fingers spread nice and wide. Press the earth away. Knees are in line with your hips. If you need them to be a little bit wider, that's perfectly fine. But we do want that straight up and down the hip line. And again, let's work that back a little bit before we get back into the hips. Inhale, drop the chest, or drop the belly, lift the chest, gaze forward. Exhale to round the spine, head drops, belly button tucks in. We're going to take 4 more rounds of this cat-cow, so take it nice and slow. Move with the breath, press the earth away. And 2 more. Nice steady breath. Trying to keep the breath as even as possible for these guys today. Just helps us get in that rhythm with the breath. Last exhale. Good. Come back to table. All right, let's work into those hips. I'm going to bring my knees a little bit closer together just so I can have a little bit more balance in my base. I'm going to send my right leg straight back, hip height. Press the toes towards the earth. Heels presses back. Really press into both arms equally. And then just start some small little pulses. Good. Release to the earth. Other side. So left foot kicks back. Toes to the earth. Heel presses back and pulse. Release to the earth. All right. I'm just going to turn around so you can see me start with my right leg here. I'm going to send this right leg straight back again, toes to the earth. And then I'm going to turn my toes out to the side. My leg is going to follow the line with my toes to bring it out straight out. When it can't come any further, bend into the knee so you can drop it down. And again, kick it back. Turn the toes. Leg follows. Bend the knee, bring it back. Beautiful. Let's do 3 more so we get a nice round thigh. Taking it nice and slow as well. We want to think about moving and controlling the muscles, not racing through this movement. It's not a cardio. All right, last one. Toes up. Great job. Okay, left side. Kick it back. Turn the leg. Draw it. So I'm personally finding on this side, I want to lean more into my right hand. So try and keep the weight equal between both hands. I think we've got 2 more. Last one. Yeah. Good. Let's bring the big toes to touch. Send the hips back. Just take a little rest in child's pose. If your hips are feeling already a little tight, perhaps you want to bring the legs together instead of keeping the knees wide. This will bring some of the stress out of the hips when our knees are together. All right, and back up to table. All right, we're going to start with this right hip again. I'm going to lift the foot up to the ceiling, keep the knee bent, and then I'm going to draw it back in towards my belly. We're just going to do 5. Beautiful. Now we're going to take it out to the side. Again, just for 5. Press into those hands. Back to center. So we're going to stick with this right side for 1 more movement, and that's going to be circles. But we're going to keep that bend knee. So we already kind of did a circle going back and then to the side. So we're going to do a side, back, and in circle. And 2 more. Release to the earth, and let's do all of that with our left leg. So starting kicking back up, and then in. Inhale to lift. Exhale, draw it in. 2 more. Good. Take it out to the side. Resist the urge to lean into this right hand. And 2 more. And then draw those circles. Send that leg out to the side. Back and in. 2 more. Drop it to the earth. Nice job. Big toes to touch again. Take a break in your child's pose. And inhale, come over onto your belly. Well, it's not coming out to your belly. We're going to send our hips towards this mat. My chest is going to stay lifted. So I'm just stretching my hips in the opposite direction that they were going before. Rest of those hands. If your hips can sink all the way to the earth and let your chest lift, awesome. If you need to be kind of almost in this sort of plank position, feel free to stay there. Lovely. Bringing your hands back below your shoulders. We're going to send our right leg straight out to the side, planting your whole foot onto the mat or off to the side of the mat. You are going the opposite direction. All right. Your back toe on your right leg can stay planted or flat. We're just going to send this weight back towards this leg. So we're bringing a stretch in here. And then inhale back to center. Exhale, press back. Again, we're only going to do 5. And back. Oh, just one. Awesome. Draw this left leg in. Send your right leg up to the side again. Foot plant. And exhale. Send the weight back. Two more on the side. Pack up to center, drop that right leg in. All right, we're going to get into our little Vinyasa flow. So check in that your wrists are back below your shoulders. Tuck the toes underneath. Press into the hands, send the hips up and back, looking back between the legs. Chest reaches towards the thighs, keeping as much bend in the knees as we need to. Your heels do not need to touch the earth. We want that straight line from wrist to shoulder to hips. All right, come up high up onto the toes. Step or hop both feet to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Let your head and your arms just hang out. Take an inhale, half lift, flat back, shoulders pulled towards your hips. Exhale, release the earth. Slight bend in the knees. Inhale, rise all the way up, hands overhead. Exhale, heart center. We're going to take an extra breath. Inhale, rise. And then exhale, fold forward, let everything go. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, fold, let it go. Take as much bend in the knees as you need to so you can plant your hands on the mat, step or hop it back. High plank. Take a moment, check in with your high plank. Wrists are below your shoulders. Fingers spread nice and wide, pressing the earth away. Your chest and your shoulders aren't sinking towards the earth. Belly button's tucked in. Spine is nice and long. Your butt can be kind of tabletop position with your back if you need it. But just check in that your neck is relaxed. We don't want to strain our neck up or let our chin come towards our chest. Lovely. If you need to drop your knees, do so. We're going to come through our chaturanga, elbows hugging the rib cage. Inhale, up dog or cobra. And then press back to your down dog. Right, high up onto the toes. Step your right foot in between your hands. Drop your left knee to the mat. Check in here. We're going to have our legs in a nice square position. So we are going to be working into the ankles as well as the hips. So we're going to send the hips forward. So we're bringing our knee in front of our toes as much as possible. And then inhale, back up. Exhale, send the hips forward. Inhale, lift. Exhale, forward. Inhale, lift. And one more. Inhale, come back up. You can plant your hands on either side of your right foot. Lift the left knee, step it back, down dog. Chest reaching towards the back. High up onto the toes. Let's do the other side. Left foot steps forward, drop that right knee. Make that little square. Rise up. Exhale, send the hips forward, knee in front of the toes. Inhale to rise. Exhale. Inhale. Send those hips forward. Two more. Rise back up. Frame that left foot, lift the right knee so you can step back. Down dog. Take that moment, pull the chest towards the thighs. And then we'll come up high up onto the toes so we can step or hop to the top of the mat. Forward fold, let it go. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, hands overhead. Exhale, heart center. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold forward, let it go. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Bend into the knees, plant the hands, step or hop back, high plank. Taking a moment here, wrists below shoulders, belly button in, press the earth away. Exhale, lower to the earth. Inhale, up dog or cobra. And exhale. Send the chest back. Down dog. High up onto the toes. So we can step that right foot on the outside of our right hand. We're going to come into an easy lizard. So we're going to drop that left knee towards the earth. So keeping your hands where they are, I'm just going to move them so you can see my right foot. I'm going to roll onto the knife edge of the right foot. So my inside of my foot, my big toe is up towards the ceiling. Knee is pressing out to the side. And we're just going to keep our hands here. As much as you can, think of sending your hips towards the earth. And just breathe. All right, to come out of this, roll back onto your foot. Lift the left knee. Step it back. Down dog. Other side, high up onto the toes. So we can step that left foot to the outside of the left hand. Drop the right leg. Roll onto the knife edge of the foot. Big toe towards the ceiling. Knee splaying out to the side. Hips sink towards the earth. Good. Roll back. Lift the right leg. Step it back. Down dog. Chest to the thighs. High up onto the toes. Jump or step to the top of your mat. Forward fold. Let it go. Inhale, half lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, heart center. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, fold forward. Let it go. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Bend into the knees, pull out the hands, step or hop it back, high plank, taking that moment. Align every joint. Exhale to lower to the earth. Inhale, up dog or cobra. And exhale, press back, down dog. All right, we're gonna come into that lizard one more time, but we're gonna change it up. So come up high up onto your toes. Step your right foot outside of the right hand. Start off with your left knee dropped, and I'll give you a couple options with both your legs here in just a moment. We're gonna roll onto that knife edge of the foot. So a couple options here, and feel free to combine any of them. You can start by lifting this left knee, bringing a little bit of strength training into that leg as well. If that's really difficult, or not what you're up for today, leave it there. You can also bring this right leg or right hand to your right knee and start a little bit of a twist. Adding a little bit of pressure onto this right leg. If you want to keep this twist but don't want so much pressure, you can reach this right knee hand up to the ceiling. And of course, with this twist, you're also welcome to come back and lift that left leg up. All right, let's release this right hand back to the mat. If it was up, step back. Ooh, down dog. And let's jump to the other side, high up onto the toes. Left foot to the outside of the left hand. And I'm going to start with my right knee dropped. Roll onto the edge of our foot. And just take a moment to recognize that this side might need something different than the other. So you may find it's easier. You may find it's a little more difficult. So just explore for a moment. Again, perhaps lift that left hand. Perhaps lift that right leg. See what is working on this side today. If you need to change partway through, feel free to do so. And relax that left hand back to the earth if it was lifted. Ooh, step it back. Down dog. High up onto the toes. Step or hop it to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Let it go. All right, we're going to take one last vinyasa flow. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, rise up, reach up. Exhale, heart center. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold, let it go. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Bend in the knees, plant the hands, step or hop it back, high plank. Pause for a moment. Align the wrists and the shoulders. Exhale to lower to the earth. Inhale up, dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Really press into the hands. And we're gonna lift the right foot up off the ceiling, coming into that three-legged, wrap off the floor, coming into that three-legged dog. Come up high up onto your left toes if you can. We're gonna bring a bend into this right knee, bring it towards our chest, and then bring that knee towards the right wrist. And then we're gonna drop the left knee to the earth. So this is our pigeon pose. So we do want our knee, right wrist. And then depending on your hip flexibility, you may be able to walk this foot so you've got more of a square position. But if it needs to be back towards your hip, if that's more comfortable for you, do what feels comfortable. Today, we don't want pain, especially in our hips, because that can become a long-term problem that takes a while to fix. All right. And the other thing in the pigeon here, I want you to keep this hip lifted up off the earth. So your hips are aligned with one another. We're not sinking down into this right hip. We're going to keep it lifted. So you'll see when we get onto my left side, I actually have quite a bit of space between the mat and my hip, and that's perfectly all right. If this is already fairly intense, stay up like this. But if you like to, you can always drop to your forearms. Perhaps bring your fists underneath your forehead or your forehead all the way to the mat. Just play for a moment, whatever feels comfortable. And as you're sitting here, come back to some of those deep breaths. And think of inhaling and sending all of that breath into this right hip, because it is doing most of the work here. As you exhale, you tell that hip that it is safe in this position and it can relax. So with each exhale, just allowing yourself to be a little bit more comfortable in this posture. Of course, if there's any pain or pinching, please come out. But so often we're holding tension in our muscles and our joints because our body feels unsafe. And here my body is being supported. It doesn't need to have that kind of tense position. All right, let's slowly come out. If you had your head down, press through your hands. So to come out, tuck your left toes underneath so that you can press into your hands, coming back to that plank. And then send the right foot back, plant it on the earth. Take a little walk in your down dog. I know this down dog probably isn't as straight aligned as my other one. That's all right. We're working on my hips at the moment. All right. Find some stillness. Let's do the other side. Send that left foot straight back. Come up high up onto the right toes if you can. Bring that left knee to the left wrist. Drop that right leg down. Oh, and one thing I forgot to mention on the other side is take a moment and check in with this back leg so that it's not splayed far off at an angle. That's just going to be uncomfortable. Keep it in a nice straight line. So again, here you can see I've got quite a bit of space between my hip and the mat. Perfectly all right. Whew. You can take a couple breaths in this high pigeon. And when you're ready, if you did so on the other side, you can release the earth, recognizing that one hip is likely tighter than the other. as we already talked about. So it might need a little bit of a higher position. It might need a few extra deep breaths to relax. And slowly press yourself back up. Tuck the right toes. Lift the knees, step back. Down dog. Again, give it a little walk. We'll take a little rest in just a moment here. We're going to come back up to our mountain pose. So come up high up onto the toes. Step or hop it to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale to fold. Bend in the knees, rise up, reach up. Exhale, heart center. Lovely. We're going to adjust our feet so that they're probably about as wide as the mat. And as we sink into our squat, you may find you need to adjust your feet even further. Now, if you know you have really tight hips or you have tight ankles, and when you come into a squat, not sure, or if you know your heels don't typically touch the ground, I'll encourage you to roll your mat up or grab a towel. And then place this under your heels. And this will just give you a little bit more height, a little bit more support. So I'll demonstrate with this rolled up and then without. So grow tall through the spine. Take a deep breath. Reach the arms up. And as you exhale, hands come to heart center. Sink into this squat. Okay. So you can keep your hands at heart center. If it's comfortable, you can use those elbows to help you widen the legs a little bit. Otherwise, just let them rest gently. So I'll unroll my mat here. So the goal is to get your heels comfortably on the mat as well. Hips sinking towards the earth. We are going to be coming in and out of this movement in just a moment here. So if you do find this is really difficult, I also recommend maybe just grabbing a chair or a table or something that can help lift you. For those of you that are able to, we're going to place our hands on the earth. We're going to keep our hands here regardless of your leg and hamstring flexibility. We're going to keep the hands planted, send the hips up towards the ceiling, and only straightening the legs as much as we can with our hands still on the earth. So if that means you're down here, you're down here. If that means you can come all the way straight, not today. That's awesome. But equally as awesome keeping those knees bent. And then we're going to sink back into that squat for a count of 6. Hips lift. Hold here. And sink back down. And last one, send the hips up. Good, release to the earth. No need to be graceful about coming back down. Give those hips some movement. Couple windshield wipers. All right, knees towards the ceiling, roll back down. Think of elongating your back and your spine as you lay back. Plant your hands down by your hips. We're going to coming back to that bridge pose we started the class off with. So as comfortable as it is for you to bring your heels in towards your hands, bring them in. If your knees are uncomfortable, just step forward a little bit. We're going to take this bridge pose in a set of 3. So we really want to press our hands and our feet into the earth. Inhale to lift the hips, roll up, chest lifts last, and then roll back down. Inhale, lift, roll up. Exhale, roll back down. All right, one more. This time we're going to hold at the top. You'd like to see if you can get a little bit higher. You can interlock the hands underneath and walk the shoulder blades in. Imagine you've got a ball or a block in between your knees that you're holding there. So we don't want our knees to come together because that will drop our hips. And we don't need to splay them out to the side because we want to keep engagement in our legs. And if you have your hands underneath you, release them, roll back down. And we're going to send this left leg out long. And I'm going to walk my right foot far off the mat. So I probably got a good foot between the mat and my right foot. And then I'm going to just lower my leg and my knee towards my left. So I am pointing my pinky toe towards the ceiling. So my foot is no longer flat on the mat. Now, for some people, you may not get your leg super close to the mat, and that's all right. But we're just aiming to let it sink here. So you should feel a stretch in your hip and on the outside. So often we focus on keeping our hips out, and we're stretching that way or forward and back. This little stretch isn't as common. So it can be quite intense. All right, to release, slowly come back out. Walk that foot in. Send that right leg out long. And same thing on the left. Walk that left foot far off the mat. Adjust as you need to. And then sink that left leg in towards the right. Feel it on this side more. It's the same thing we were doing with pigeon pose. Take those deep inhales. Send the breath into this whole hip, leg, upper leg area. And exhale. Just let yourself relax. Slowly release. Walk that foot in. We're going to bring a bend into both our knees and take your feet about mat distance apart, maybe a little off the mat. Send your arms out T position and then just drop your knees over to the left side. So there should be neither of your legs are touching each other. Hips are trying to stay as pressed into the mat as possible, but we really want our shoulders on the mat. So we're not lifting this right side up. And take an inhale, bring the knees back to the center. And then exhale, drop the knees to the right side. Again, check in that left shoulder is pressing into the earth. Good. Bring the knees back to center. Send your legs out long down the mat. Bring your arms down by your sides, away from your body. We'll settle in to our final Shavasana, inviting you to close the eyes, coming back to some of those deep breaths in and out through the nose, allowing the belly and the rib cage to rise and expand. As you exhale, let everything sink back. As you allow yourself to feel heavier with each exhale, just notice if any joints or muscles can relax even further. Make some small adjustments. You have the urge to just get up, start moving. I encourage you to resist for just a few more moments. Allowing yourself to think of Shavasana as just as important as the other movements of today's practice. If outside thoughts start to wander in, acknowledge their presence and let them go, letting them know you'll be back again for them later. Giving yourself permission to simply spend a few moments focused on the breath and on the present. You have the time, you're comfortable here. I invite you to spend a few more moments in Shavasana. You're ready to come out. Start to wiggle the toes and the fingers, wrists and ankles. Hug both knees gently in towards the chest and just rock side to side or in circles. And just slowly rock or press yourself up. Find that comfortable seated position. Grow tall through the spine. Inviting you to keep the eyes closed for just a few more moments. Inhale to reach the arms up overhead, grow even taller. As you exhale, bring the hands down to heart center. Check in with the shoulders, let them drop away from the ears. Perhaps give your neck a little sway side to side and allow it to relax. I thank you for joining me on the mat today. I look forward to seeing you again soon. The light in me sees and honors the light in each of you. Namaste.